Well, let's see what the DAX has to give us today, shall we?
Matron, take them away.
And a warm welcome to one and all. This your first time here? I'm the big fella Scruff, trying to put trading in the real world. Maybe show you a trick or two along the way. So grab your coffee, because I've got mine, because we all know Scruffy likes his coffee, and we'll crack on. So what are we cracking on with? Well, first of all, I'm having a slurp of this. I'll tell you for why. I've been talking endlessly for days trying to practice for Traders Day Live, which is this Saturday. It's a Forex Expo in London. But I'm also trying to keep ahead of the guys in the Scruffy squad as well. And it's very difficult because they're very excited and they all sort of want things all the time. And today, it's like a little salute to Nez. Oh, salute to you, my friend. Because he requested, and I'll pull this down just so you can kind of see it, that we look at the DAX. Now, if I pull this up, well done, kid. Little conscious trade trader there, Yanis. If you haven't found him yet, do go find the conscious day trader. He's a good kid, and he's got a good channel as well. But in Rogue Plus, here it is here. Where is it? There we are. Do a chart read for the DAX. Set and forget. I do that all the time. And even though I'm getting prepared for this, I've done the read. And there it is there. Now, what I do with those reads is I kind of give my opinion of what I believe is going to be happening. I genuinely do. Now, I'm not always right, but money's made in the management. And that's kind of what's set up here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of tip my toe in the water because the signs are there for it. I ideally wanted to be entering here, but I'm targeting way down here. I've got some work to do on the screen, so I can monitor this. So I'm going to put a small order here, but the bulk of it is going to be up there. All right. And the idea is we're going to let this run up. Now, just bear with me a second. I want to see where this could feed. Well, actually, running up there is probably about right. So we'll put a little order here, just in case it runs off. Tip the toe in. But the main orders is going to be here. And then if we go through this barrier, then I've got a problem. And I need to sort something out. All right. And then I'll explain the analysis. So let me just drop this in to start with. Because I like to have kind of self-managing trades as well. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Now, I like the price to come to me. So I'm going to hold the prices underneath. And we're going to start them with a 15 pip target. And they're all going to be in the same place. Now, I'm just going to drop a fiver in. Just like so. Now, what this will do, this will self-manage itself. Okay, now I'll explain this in a minute. It's a variation of ladder trading. Now, ladder trading is where you have staged entries down into a target where it'll just keep cashing out as it moves down. Now, you can re-enter on the ladder. It's quite easy to do. Right, we've got 6 in. There we are. Right, so that's kind of the first stage. And as you can see, it's all laddered down to roughly the target, which is here. So it'll go do-do-do-do-do-do-do, and it'll keep paying me out, right? This, I'm going to follow up because I actually want to enter in and around this area. Now here, I'm going to do a similar thing, and I'm going to put an order here and an order there set out roughly the same. Okay, but what I'm going to be doing with them, because these are the bigger target or the area that I was initially wanting to enter. So we're going to put our order here. We're going to run that down to there. So that's like, so that starts at 35. Place that order. Same entry at 40. Same entry at 50. Okay, so that's built up a position here. And then I'm going to put another one there. Okay. And I'm going to do this one the same way. Now what this does, so that would be a starting point of 45. Sorry, I'm just setting this up because everything I do is in the moment. I don't like to, right, we triggered in with the first set of orders. Excellent. Okay. There we go. Right. This is kind of all laid up. So I've got a position here. That's broken. Go do into there. If it retraces back on itself, it'll pick up here to then run down. So that's the game. That's the idea of this trade. But where did it come from? Well, let's look at this. Let's pull this out slightly to a 4 hour. Well, there is a strong directional drive. Can't deny that. You know, it's a whopper of a drive. It's failing at this level. However, if it pushes through, there's a high probability it can come to here. Now, if it does try to go to there, because there's nothing to stop it, that's a hell of a way to go. Too far. So I have to break it down somewhat. Right? So the premise of this trade, if you come out to the daily, you see it's drived up, stall, 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 colossal drop. Drive up, push down when it hits the level. Hits the level, pushes down. Hits the level, pushes down. Hits the level, pushes down. So it does it all the time. So the chances of this pushing down is pretty high into this. Okay. 4 hour. Showing signs of that push down. Where could it feasibly go? Well, look at the cluster. There's a cluster. So if it is looking to push through this, because it's gone through the 50% of this move, there's a high probability it'll push to the low side. Well, I'm not sure how far it can get into the low side, but it's a high probability it will. So that's what these are staged for. They are backing that up. Take it to the hourly, and there's a logical point. Again, the base of a cluster. Let it collapse. It'll give you good money to get to there. If it keeps on going, it can come down to here. But we are in the face of an upward move. So this might be a retracement. If it is, I'm being cautious. And that's why I've broke the positions up. Bloody hell. So what that does is that allows me to maneuver what's going on. So it'll come in, it'll cash, 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 cash. If it runs up to where I initially wanted it to be, fine, I enter it again, because there's a high probability this will hold. I can then manage it for it to come back down again. Everybody's a winner. And then just look at a 15-minute to see what the structure is. Well, it broke the level, it's broke underneath there. The next part it's going to look to break is underneath this. And if it does, it'll surge. And when it surges, we're going to catch the profit. So let's play it out, and I'll do a bit more rehearsing, and we'll crack on. Okay, guys, that's now cashed out. It's given me 165 quid off essentially £1 positions, which I can live with that. I'm going to take these out because these didn't get triggered. Don't need these. And the fact they were just sitting there doesn't really matter. Now, the idea of this trade worked really well. The premise was incredibly simple. It was sandwiched. It was going to trigger one of them, but I had a direction in place. Now, that direction, I'm about to kill off a trade that is in the prop fund as well, because while it was doing that, I had it running here. There's 138, and I'm going to pull off probably the last trade here because I balance everything out. So again, you can kind of see that I practice what I preach on all aspects. So what's the moral of the story here? Well, the moral of the story is have a conviction and stick to it. Now, thought the idea was short, fine. Needed some optimum entries. I haven't got time to manage it, so I just had to sort of let it get on with it. And that's what I've done. So that's it. Trading ain't that hard. You know, you just have a conviction, you stick to it, and you play a logical game. Now, sometimes that logic doesn't play out, and that's why you had that grey box and the red line. So I knew where my points of pain were. If I was wrong, I had an opportunity to get out and not really worry about, well, the risk side of it. It was all mapped. And that's it. So, how's your day mapped?
Fine, yeah.
What do you mean, fine, yeah?
Yes, I'm working.
Oh, fuck me. I'm surprised. Yeah, bloody shocking. But that's that. So, if you've got any questions, by all means, just drop them in the comments and I will try and answer them. If you want to see exactly how I trade, drop along into the Discord. Talk there every single day. We have face-to-face meetings every day as well. And hopefully it'll inspire you with your trading. And that's what this weekend that I'm going to is all about, Traders Day Live. The idea of that is to inspire you to be better. And I'm a little bit nervous, a little bit excited. It's going to be odd. I'm not a natural born speaker. Well, certainly not on a stage. But I like to think I'm a natural born trader. Because I'm very analytical and I'm very logical in how I approach the market. And that's either to a win or a loss. So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed. But above all, do what you love. And the money will follow. See you all in the next one.